Going on YouTube? Welcome to Sibz, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Tonight, we are talking The Flash episode 10. And guys, I just got to open this up by saying, well, I'm Chris, that's Sydney. I got to open this up by saying, listen, at some point, a show is beyond the point of no return.
Christopher, this show is not beyond the point of return. You need
it is for me.
Down. No,
the end was good.
The ending was good, and it's hopefully going to lead us into a better.
Oh, please.
You know these next two episodes. Listen.
Have we said
debris that I have been covering on Sibz, check out my coverage, has sucked, okay? That is a show that has sucked from the beginning on every single level, okay? That show's not going to get past the first season. The Flash does not suck. It's just having a bad
The Flash sucks.
Seasons.
Can we say that? Can we say
that?
No,
because it's not true.
It is okay. Let me explain why. Because maybe while you were watching this, you didn't notice. Maybe you got some short-term memory. Let me explain this. The same things happened again. The Flash had self-esteem issues, didn't know how to fix anything. They talked down the villain again, Bashir, aka Psych. They talked him out of being a villain again. They've said, let's do Kumbaya. The Flash got his butt beat again, did not fight any villains. I mean, what are we watching here?
Okay,
we're supposed to watch it. Oh, okay, but we're supposed to watch a superhero show because we want to see the main superhero beat the bad guy, like physically. Otherwise, the Flash didn't do anything that a psychiatrist couldn't do.
That is true. I will submit that to you. The Flash, on terms of fighting, is not doing well. However, we are getting. I think you know what the problem is. It's just that debris sucks so bad that I'm so happy to watch a show for Sibz that I genuinely care about and am emotionally invested in, even though it's not doing great right now. Okay. I know that, Barry did talk down the bad guy. I know that,
this is trash.
It's the same issues. They're trying to play up on these heavy, through lines of family, but, nobody really cares. It's a little weird. But the last few minutes of that episode was very good. I'm very excited. I mean, you know what I think has been happening with The Flash? The first 45 minutes have sucked, and then the last 15 are pretty good. And that's what happened again this week. I don't understand what's going on. I don't fully the Speed Force is just trying to kill the other forces. Okay. We've got a super OP bad guy who isn't doing enough throughout the season. I also think that's a poor choice. But I really think that the back 8 of this season are going to be better.
Please. You have absolutely... Sid, come on. We've been doing this too long. We have no indication that this show is not going...
You don't think next week's episode is going to be good?
The writers of the show have been piss poor all season. Why are they all of a sudden on the back 8 going to all of a sudden bring it back to the Flash that we've had? The Flash has a serious problem. It is not the show that it was. They have a new direction, and their new focus on everything but the Flash being a superhero is not working. Fans are not going to be down for this. I hate actually having to come. I love being on here. I love doing YouTube, talking about shows that I love. And this show is making it very hard to love right now. Now, I'll give you, the end was good. But we didn't come and watch the entire season and this entire episode for the last 5 minutes. This is not acceptable. I'm not even angry, but and I know some people in the comments, they disagree here, but it's what do you watch the show to see? If you go to see The Flash for anything other than superhero action with some story, then you can watch any other show, literally.
Try to formulate my thoughts in a way that will make sense. I understand. Yes, the show is not, it's not being very superhero-y. I will give you that. We are missing the action sequences. At least everybody else is having an action except Barry, and then he gets smacked in the face, and that's the end of his action sequences. I agree.
That's not acceptable.
I agree, but that's not the only element of The Flash, and it never has been. The Flash is always...
It's the most important element.
I wouldn't say of The Flash since season 1. No, the action has not been the most important element. I would say the biggest element...
The most
Are you saying the action for
the
most important element for a superhero show is the action? I'll give you
yes,
that.
including the Flash. What do you think drew
Including
so many people? I'm sorry, people who watched during Reverse Flash and Zoom and Savitar did not come for the story and the love and giggles.
I'm not saying that they came for the love and giggles, but there's been such a strong amount of heart in the Flash that I do think people are drawn to, and that I do think people like. But I will also submit that that has also been missing this season. Okay, there's not been a lot of that. So, but the thing
it's
is,
gone
I
from
guess
a
my
lot of
attitude
heart
is
to a lot of fart.
my attitude is when you love something, you give it the benefit of the doubt for a long time because you want it to get better. I'm not saying that the Flash isn't sucking right now, because it's not doing great. But I'm not going to dog it every single week just because it's not doing great.
But it's Sydney, it's not about dogging it. Like, I'm not on this trip where I'm just hating the Flash. Literally, the second they drop a good episode, I will be right on board like it never happened. The problem is they've consistently dropped trash episodes. They had one good episode. I forget it was. I think it was
before 2 good episodes.
No. I mean, in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Right before the 90s episode.
Yeah, it was like right before the 90s episode. The problem is, I'm just calling it like I see it. Every time there's a bad episode, I got to be honest. It's a bad episode. And when it keeps piling up, you're seeing the frustration because it like, what is this? Like, we can't get a good episode of The Flash. And here's the thing. The best thing for the show is for people to be honest. And the best thing for the show is for people to vote with their remote. Vote with the remote. Don't watch it if it's trash.
But I think the thing is,
that's what happened with Arrow. Look at their ratings. Look at the Nelson TV ratings for the Arrow seasons 5 and 6. Totally tanked. I think they were getting maybe like 40% of their audience from the past seasons. And they turned it around, and the ending of Arrow was fantastic. What are you applying right now?
I'm putting on chapstick. Sorry.
Do you get what I'm saying, though? That is the only way to correct it. Pretending it's not there does not help.
Yeah, but I do think that you have to be careful. I don't know. I think I'm bad to that, because you stop watching a show because the episodes suck and they just cancel the show. You know, look at poor Supergirl. Granted, Supergirl didn't. I mean, season 4 and 3 kind of sucked, but you know, the first 2 were pretty good. Anyway, that's aside from the point. All that I'm saying is, yes, the show is going through a rough patch, but let's give our viewers something else to talk about. So, what was good about it?
Okay, we'll get into the story. Because we have to cover the episode, of course. But one last thing. Because you mentioned Supergirl, and I'm covering Supergirl, and they just went on their hiatus for the mid-season. The problem with Supergirl, and the reason that it's being canceled, is because they refused to change. That's the problem. They had it a certain way, and people didn't like it, or they did like it. The same thing with Batwoman. If you don't adapt to your audience, it's the entire problem. You want to talk Snydercut? #Snydercut, guys. The whole problem is that Warner and their properties, they have a decision that they've already made in the direction they want to go, regardless of what anyone thinks, regardless of what people watch, regardless of what people say. And that's why Supergirl's canceled. That's why Batwoman can't get off the ground. And that's why, if the Flash doesn't turn this around, they will be going in the same direction. But we should talk about the episode itself, because we had a lot going on.
Yes, there were a lot of things that happened in this episode. First, I think not to continue being negative, but what kind of annoyed me right off the bat in this episode was the Cisco situation. I thought whatever was happening with him, and I don't remember his girlfriend's name. I don't remember anyone's name. Anyway, whatever is going on with them, last episode they both say, I gotta leave. And now he's like, oh, I don't know. And then his reason for not knowing was because he saw himself in 40 years still at Star Labs, like everyone else had moved on and he was stuck in the same place. But I'm like, yeah, Star Labs was your dream job. And it's not like by the time the Flash came on, you hadn't already been at Star Labs for
but it's not only that. It's if you had a dream that you were still stuck there in 40 years, then the best way to make that not happen is to leave.
Right.
Leave
Why
now.
change your mind?
Like the vision, you're trying to make it come true, and it's like, okay, you had a bad dream, so that's why you don't want to go anymore. But basically, the premise of the episode, guys, is that they're still trying to fight Nora, and Barry thinks the best way to prepare Fuerza for the battle that's coming from Nora is to train her to use her powers to fight Nora. He says, as he's been saying for a long time now, and I can't stand it. Oh, maybe I can't defeat Nora, but you can. And literally, a moth just flew in through my window. But that's the thing. It's like he keeps downgrading his own abilities and his own power. So he's training up Fuerza to be able to fight Nora. And that's kind of how the whole episode goes. Now, Nora is also recruiting the Time Force because what's shown in the consistency of Nora's powers is that she does need an assist from another meta or another force of nature in order to take down the rest of them. And obviously, we can talk about the rest of the story, but she gets the job done in the end.
Yeah, I would say, and I think that is an interesting through line. I just think this episode about getting Fuerza ready was kind of stupid. It's like, okay, we have to train her, but can we talk about something more interesting? But then I guess we have the main storyline of Psyche wanting revenge on all of his wealthy friends because he was an abandoned child. Once again, I was like, bro, like, okay, that's sad, but like, why do I care?
Yeah, and it's not, it's great, but it's like the whole family kumbaya theme throughout all the storylines that I can't stand. Now, one of the really good storylines is the one with Joe West and his battle that he's having at the precinct. That was one of my favorite parts of the episode. Him really griping and dealing with the fact that the precinct that he's worked at pretty much since the show started, he's now having to leave because the law enforcement, the governor and the powers that be, they're going in another direction. They want to shoot up metahuman villains with the cure. We saw the agent try and force that on Killer Frost in the last episode, and so now she's got an okay from the governor, and she's going to go full blitz on all the metahumans.
Yeah, I do think we're making some moves, I think, to hopefully at least have an interesting mid-season finale. Oh, The Flash isn't normally on this late in the year. It's already May, isn't it? It's usually over by now. So, yeah, COVID has definitely messed some things up. But I think we're moving in a good direction. I'm hopeful that, I think Joe leaving is a good, strong emotional point. I think Speed Force is obviously a bad mamma jamma. Like, I think it's going to be a good showdown whenever we get there. I'm also looking forward to seeing Nora and Bart and Godspeed. We still have them on the docket. So, things to come, and hopefully they'll redeem this season, just the last few minutes redeemed this
it seems like we're falling into a little good cop, bad cop routine here. But I know. I'm not trying to say everything's bad in the show. I mean, I just said that I love the through line with Joe West. But the problem is that most of the episodes focus on redeeming these people and redeeming like their inner person instead of the Flash fighting bad guys, which is what we go to see. I mean, there are plenty of shows about psychiatrists that people can watch if they want to see people who used to be criminals or inmates turn over a new leaf. It's like now the Flash has gone from a superhero, a high octane superhero fighting team to a prison reform unit. It's not. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I think another thing that was really interesting about the episode is the relationship between Nora and the rest of the forces. I think that we had sensed something was off from her from the beginning, and Iris did too. She was a little off. She's been lying the whole time, and so now what happens at the end of all this when we're faced with the fact that the Speed Force is kind of a villain, because it is an all-powerful force? Are they going to have to? Because remember, in the beginning of the season, there was no Speed Force, and they recreated it. You know what I mean? At an artificial one. So now that it's back, are we looking at another situation where they'll have to destroy the Speed Force?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. That's what I'm saying. I think we're making good questions. It's just like the teeny steps we're taking to get to the big things are so boring.
Yeah, they are.
But there's hope.
I hope so. This is a show that I am respecting by continuing to watch. Hold on, there's a motorcycle. They always love to use my street. Hold on, I'll mute.
Oh, well.
It's not my street. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, we'll have to continue to watch. I continue to watch because I am a fan, and that's why Sid and I continue to watch. So hit us up in the comments below for sure. We'd love to talk with you guys. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate because I'm just not liking the show right now, and I hate that I don't like it. But I like Sydney said, there's still hope to be found. So let us know in the comments below. Leave a like on the video if you like the video, and subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss us. We're covering The Flash. We got Superman returning tonight, so I'll be covering that tonight. Stay tuned. Debris was on yesterday.
Also, I'll be covering Soulless on Amazon Prime this Friday, so stay tuned for that. That should be exciting. It's an all-star cast.
Yeah, and of course, we're always taking suggestions down below, so let us know. Thanks, guys, so much for watching, as always, and we'll see. Well, I'll see you in I'll see you in just about 40 minutes for Superman, and Sydney will see you on Friday. Peace.